everybody. I hope that you are doing well and safe at home. Today I'm going to talk about quantifiers. I know that you are familiar with the name and you know what are quantifiers. So let's get started. So now, before we start, I want you to think about some countable and uncountable nouns. I know we already talked about it, and now I want you to put them in different categories. I mean, put it in countable noun and uncountable noun. Okay, I give you some seconds. Okay, you're right. So you know them pretty well. But now we're going to start talking about countable nouns and uncountable nouns, and I think that you can guess them pretty well. So here the question is, can we count oranges? As you can see in the picture and the article and the plural s, you are pretty sure they are countable or uncountable. Countable. Very good. So we can count oranges. Next, can we count rice? Think about it. Rice, we said. No. Okay. Can we count dogs? A dog, 4 dogs. Of course we can. So it is yes. And can we count cars? Yes or no? We have a car, 4 cars. So the answer is yes. What about paint? Can we count paint? You say some paint. So it is no. Can we count students? A student, some students. Of course we can, yes. So can we count water? So you know water is liquid, so of course we say no. So we can't count water, we can't count tea, we can't count coffee, right? We can't count sugar, we can't count. So there are uncountable nouns: sugar, salt, oil, water, tea, coffee. Okay, so how can we make affirmative sentences with plural noun? I'm pretty sure you gave the correct answer. Here you have, there are some oranges. So the sentence is positive and you have a plural noun and also is countable. So you can say there are some oranges. Next. Okay, we have dogs, countable noun, and you can make an affirmative sentence. You can say there are some dogs. And what about the students? So you already know that students is an countable noun. So you can count the students. So for affirmative sentence with some, we use there are some students. So you say, so why don't we count and say there are 2 oranges, there are 4 dogs, there are 4 students? So let me tell you something. Here, when we want to talk about something that we don't know the number, or we don't care about the number of that item, we use some. If we know it, if you want to use number, you can use number. You can say 2, you can use 3, you can use 4, and other numbers. But when we don't know about the numbers of that item, so you can use some. So here for affirmative sentences with uncountable noun. So you think that you can use some or not, because we can use numbers here. Rice, water, paint, they are uncountable. So you need to use a quantifier to show how much of these items are here. So you can say there are some rice, there is some paint, there is some water. So there is some rice, there is some paint, and there is some water. Okay. How can we make negative sentences with uncountable nouns and countable nouns? So you are wondering whether I can use any or some. So you don't know. So for question, what about the question? Can I use a and some, any? Which one I can use? So you say for oranges, I want to make a negative sentence. So what can I use? I can use, yes, you're right, there aren't any oranges. So when you have plural noun, or I can say countable noun, and your sentence is negative, you say there aren't any oranges. What about dogs? So dogs, you know, countable, so plural, you have 4 dogs here. So you say there aren't any dogs. What about the question? So you say, are there any students? So based on this sentences you are actually seeing on this screen, there aren't any oranges. When you have a negative sentence, when you want to make a negative sentence and you don't know the number of these items, you use any. There aren't any oranges. Or you can say for dogs, there aren't any dogs. Are there any students? So question, negative, you use any. What about uncountable nouns? Can I use any, or can I use some? So for negative sentences or question sentences with uncountable nouns, there isn't any rice. So it's clear. When you have uncountable noun, you can use there isn't any rice in a negative sentence. Next, there isn't any paint. Again, we have an uncountable noun and also the sentence is negative. You can't use some, you have to use any. What about question? Can you make that question? Okay. Yes. Is there any water? So you can see we have water. Water is an uncountable noun, and also the sentence is in question form, so you have to use any. Is there any water? Okay, so we learned about some and any. Now we want to learn about a lot of. So what can I use with a lot of? I can use plural nouns and uncountable nouns, both countable nouns and uncountable nouns. But the countable nouns should be plural, okay? And uncountable nouns. Here you have the sentences. There are a lot of students. There is a lot of sugar. So I hope that you can see the picture of sugar. It's like a mountain there. So here you have a number of students. There are a lot of students. There is a lot of sugar. So for there are a lot of students, you have plural countable, and for there is a lot of sugar, you have an uncountable noun. A lot of, here you have another example. You can say, I have a lot of books, I don't have a lot of time or money. So here you see time and money is on time or money is uncountable. Here you have books. Books are the books are countable. We have a lot of versus a lot. So what do you think? Do you think they are the same in the meaning and structure or not? So we have a lot of. Where can we use a lot of? Where can we use a lot? So look at these two pictures. Can you make a sentence with a lot of, with the picture with people there and with the baby? Okay, so let's check your sentences. First of all, let's look at the structure of a lot of. A lot of plus noun. So whenever you use a lot of, you after a lot of, you have a noun, always. What about a lot? You have a lot after a verb. I sleep a lot. I sleep a lot of is wrong. So after a lot of, you have a noun. But after a lot, you don't have a noun. So you don't have a preposition. You stop the sentence there. For example, I can say, I have a lot of money. Okay? Or you can say, I work a lot. So they are different. I have a lot of money. I work a lot. They're different. Okay, with many, you already know that. Many, we use many for countable nouns in negative sentences. And also, you know, we use it in positive sentences as well. So many for negative. What examples can you? So you have the pictures here, students, dogs. I want you to take your time and make 2 sentences with this picture. Okay, I think that you're right. There aren't many dogs, and there aren't many students. We use many to talk about countable nouns, or to show the countable nouns in negative sentences. Okay, we can use many with plural countable nouns in positive sentences as well. I have many books. I have many friends. Yeah? I have many co-workers. Or I can say, I don't have many oranges. I don't have many books. Much. So where do we use much? We use much with uncountable nouns in negative sentences. So make sentences with paint and rice, negative sentence. Okay, that's right. There isn't much paint. There isn't much rice. So we use much with uncountable nouns in negative sentences. So we have much, then the noun. Okay, another example. You can say, I don't have much time or money, but I'm happy. I don't have much time or money, but I'm happy. I don't think people who don't have much money are happy. So what about you? Okay, so we get to making questions with how many and how much. With how many, it's clear here, how many with countable nouns in question forms. So, these are the questions. How many dogs are there? How many students are there? So, you don't need to make are there all the time. You can say, how many books do you have? How many friends do you have? How many students do you have? How many books do you read every month, right? How many restaurants do you go in a year? So you don't need to say are there or is there all the time. So you can make different types of sentences. Okay, next is how much. How much with uncountable nouns in question, so you know that. How much? What? Look at rice. How much rice is there? Yes. How much paint is there? Let's check. Right. So you paid attention to the structure. How much paint. After how much you have a noun, and you have to write how much paint, how much rice, how much money do you earn, how much water do you drink. So these are examples with how much. So you can make a great range of examples with how much here, but with uncountable nouns. Next is about little, a little. With uncountable nouns, we use little or a little. So how do you make these sentences? He has a little money or he has little money. If you say he has a little money, it means not enough. But when you say he has little money, it means he doesn't have any money. So they are different in meaning. Be careful. So a little means not enough, but little, it means nothing. Okay? For example, I have little money, it means I'm broke. I don't have any money. But if I say I have a little money, it means that I have enough to survive. Next is a few and few. So where do we use them? With countable nouns. So can you make a sentence with that picture? Here you have friends together. So what do you say? I have a few friends. So let me get back. When you say I have a few friends, means that 2 or 3 enough. Okay? But you say I have few friends, means not enough. I don't. It means like I don't have any friends. Okay, let's recap again about a and some and any. So we use a and an to talk about countable nouns, and also when you talk about a noun which is one. The meaning of a and an is one. So we need an apple. Okay, we need some apple. We need some butter. Here you have, we don't need a tomato. We don't need any tomatoes. We don't need any rice. So you see, we use some for countable and uncountable. We use any for countable, for uncountable negative sentences, and also we use any for countable and uncountable question forms. Yeah, you can say, do you need an orange if it is one, or you say, do you need any oranges, or you say, do you need any sugar? So oranges, countable noun, Sugar, uncountable noun. So I told you with many, we use it in positive and negative sentences. Here, the example is in positive sentence. I have many books. And much, for uncountable sentences, we say I don't have much time. A lot of, we can use a lot of for both countable and uncountable. I have a lot of books. I have a lot of time. And here you have, I have, with little, we say uncountable noun, I have a little time or I have little time. A few, you can say countable, with countable nouns, and I have a few books, or you can say I have few books. A lot, only use it after a verb followed by a noun. You say I like running a lot, I have a lot of friends. I told you already, we use a lot at the end of the sentence after a verb. I like running a lot, I paint a lot, I shop a lot. But you say I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of books, I have a lot of actually activities. Okay, we have some exercises here. We can do it together. For number 1, there is what new teacher at school? What's your answer? Yes, is A. There is a new teacher at school. What about next one? This cake needs sugar, 500 grams. What do you think? Sugar, what is it? A lot of. So if it was an uncountable noun as well, countable and uncountable noun, we can use a lot of. Okay, next we have students. Are there in your class 24? So your answer should be, so the sentence is positive, negative, question. The sentence is question, so you need question word. Here, how many? How many students are there? Students is a countable noun. Okay, there isn't much butter in the fridge, only a little bit. Okay, next one. There were people at the concert. It was a success. There were what? Much, many, a lot of, few, a little. Let's check. A lot of people at the concert. It was a success. So you will get from the rest of the sentence which quantifier you should use. Next, there are expensive flats in the center, maybe 3 or 4. What's the answer? Expensive flats. Flats is positive or negative. So expensive is an adjective, it's not a noun, so you shouldn't consider the noun. Here you have, you shouldn't consider expensive. Flats is a noun. Countable or uncountable, it has S. So what do you need to put there? There are some expensive flats in the center, maybe 3 or 4. When you have maybe 3 or 4, it means that you don't know exactly the number of the flats. Next, water do you drink every day? Question form. Water is countable or uncountable noun, is an uncountable noun. So the question word is how much. Next, it was good because there weren't mistakes in the exam. Only 2. What do you say? Only 2 mistakes. Let's check. You can use a few, a little, many. What? Many. There weren't many mistakes in the exam. Only 2. This is interesting story. This is interesting story. So interesting is not a noun, it's an adjective. Story is a noun. So you should say and. So this is an interesting story. How about next one? How sugar do you want in your tea? Spoon. Spoon. So how sugar? Sugar is uncountable. The sentence is in question form. So much. That's it. Okay. Next part, we want to tell you about too and too many and too much. When you're talking about too many and too much, we want to say that it is something extra and it is negative. Okay? Let's check out the examples. I'm stressed. I have too much work. My diet is really unhealthy. I eat too many pizzas. So from the sentence, you can understand this idea is negative, but the surface is positive. The meaning is negative, the surface is positive. It means it's too much or too many of something. It is something extra. We don't want it. Okay, I have too much work. After too much, you have an uncountable noun. After too many, you have a countable noun. Okay? I don't want to go out. I'm too tired. Yes, I don't want to go out. I'm too tired. So too shows that more than necessary. Too much, too many. Too means more than necessary, more than good. Okay? So we say too much. We use too much, uncountable nouns, as I told you. Too much coffee, too much milk, too much film, too much time, too much money. Okay? And after that, sometimes you can use without a noun. You can say, I smoke too much. I eat ice cream too much. Okay? Or you can say, I eat too much ice cream. Good. Too many is about countable noun. Say, for example, there are too many people. There are too many books. There are too many cars in the street. Too plus adjective. You can't say, I'm too much tired. Before adjectives, you only use too. I'm too bored. Yeah? I'm too tired. I'm too, for example, this box is too heavy, right? The weather is too hot. It means that I don't like it, is unnecessary, is more than good. Good. Let's continue. With enough, so we have too, more than enough, it means it's okay. That's all I want and that's enough. It's all that is necessary. Do you eat enough vegetables? She doesn't sleep enough. My fridge isn't big enough. Enough, all that is necessary. So look at the first sentence. Do you eat enough vegetables? Enough is before or after noun, subject, what? Here, look at vegetables. Vegetable is a noun. So we use enough before nouns. What about she doesn't sleep enough? So we don't have a noun. We don't have an adjective. So you don't have to. It's not necessary to use both adjective or noun in a sentence. You can use it without any noun, without any adjectives. After verb, say she doesn't sleep enough. My fridge isn't big enough. Where do you use it? So you look at the sentence. My fridge, subject, isn't verb, be verb, and big, adjective. And then I have enough after that. Enough, all that necessary. So enough plus noun, verb plus enough, adjective, adverb plus enough. Okay, let's do this and we are done for today. Too much, too many, or enough. I'm not very fit. I don't do what? Too or enough. Remember that we don't use to in negative sentences. Remember, so your answer should be and must be enough. Next, I can't walk to school. It's, so far is a verb, no, noun, no, and adjective. Yes, you have to say it's too far. There are cars on the road today. There are cars, and cars is as positive. Oh, sorry, it's countable. Sentence is positive. So what do I need? Too many. I spent time on the computer. It gives headaches. Too much. I don't sleep, only 5 or 6 hours, but I really need 8. So you can't use too here, so you can use enough. I don't sleep enough, right? Next, I can read it there. I was ill to go to work yesterday. I was ill to go to work yesterday. So we have ill. Ill is an adjective. The sentence is positive. I don't have a noun here, so ill is an adjective. So what should I use? To. There were people at the party, so it was impossible to dance. People, countable noun. Sentence is positive, and you need too many. I always have work, not free time. I always have work. What? To work, too much work, too many work, too much work. Why? Work is uncountable. And not free time. So what? I don't have enough free time. Okay. I think that's enough for today. I hope that you enjoyed the lesson, and thank you and goodbye.